Is impacting so many different places, being felt in many different ways. The most recent, of course, very critical for air travel, and that's why, again, our Matt Venezia is live from the Baton Rouge Metro Airport this morning. The latest information on these nationwide flight reductions being issued by the FAA. Matt, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Matt. Yeah, the FAA, as you mentioned right there, they made that announcement yesterday, kind of giving everybody the heads up as to what today's air travel day will look like. And it's that there's going to be that 10% reduction at 40 of the most busy, high traffic, high volume airports nationwide here. So we're here at Baton Rouge Airport, not necessarily one of those airports, but those effects are definitely going to be felt here for folks traveling here. So let's get to this. The decision comes from a thorough review of the FAA's aviation safety data, which includes voluntary confidential safety reports that pilots and air traffic controllers file. Now, international travel reduction, it's not expected from this. It's just going to be those domestic travelers that should see these impacts. The intent here, though, it's to maintain the highest standard of safety in the national airspace. And of course, all of this coming from the government shutdown. Should any of your flights be impacted, the FAA says airlines will be required to issue full refunds, but not those secondary costs, refunding those back. That would include maybe rental cars, if you had hotel accommodations. All of that would be separate and on your own to have to worry about. But it is worth noting that this is normal protocol for a delay or cancellation. That is not the fault of the carrier, not the fault of those airlines that, unfortunately, because of this FAA announcement, they have to cancel their flights. So just something to keep in mind. Another thing to keep in mind here, again, Baton Rouge Metro Airport, MSY down in New Orleans, okay? Those airports, while they're not listed, there's a full list, by the way, on the FAA's website. It was probably going to take up too much room on the screen to list all these 40 different airports, but they're not directly going to see those immediate impacts. But those two airports, they connect to Houston, to Atlanta, to Charlotte, and those are those airports that are on that long list. So just because maybe your flight there might not be impacted, what about your flight from a Charlotte, from a Houston to another destination? That is worth noting. That is worth looking on your apps to just make sure to see if your flights are going to be impacted, those secondary flights, those second legs of those connecting flights. Certainly something to keep in mind. But again, day one, it's expected to carry over the next couple of days up till next week when we get to that 10% reduction across the country. Matt.
Matt Venezia live for us this morning from Metro. Thank you, sir.